Hi everyone, today we're talking about the earnings next week. Now we've had 2 busy weeks of earnings that have come out. Last week was definitely a very busy one. A lot of earnings, not too many as big moves as the week before when we had the Tesla and Align technology moving, but we still had some pretty interesting earnings. I liked Facebook's earnings and Alibaba earnings, and this is a sort of series where I talk about the upcoming earnings for that week or the week that's just about to happen. And the actual series has been like really good. The feedback's been really good. I've got a lot of positive comments from it. So I've really enjoyed doing it, and it seems like you guys have enjoyed the series as well. I probably will not make any more from here until it gets to the Q4 earnings around about January time when that happens. Just because the earnings kind of do die down. I'll have to check what earnings are actually coming out the next week, and then I'll assess if I'm going to do a video or not. But probably right now, this will probably be the last one. Like I said last week, this week will probably be the last one because it does quiet down from here. But the feedback has been absolutely amazing, so thank you for that. And if you could give the video a like, that'd be absolutely amazing. Subscribe if you haven't. We are on 499 subscribers, which is quite annoying. Just get that one more to get to the 500 subscribers would be amazing. Also, if we can, push to that for 1,000 subscriber mark where we can do some live streams when earnings come out, that would be absolutely amazing. That's hopefully the aim before Christmas, is to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So if you could like and subscribe, guys, it'll help us get there. But what we'll do now, guys, is we'll get the chart up for earnings next week, and there's still a few interesting names, and I'll also talk about the ones that I'm kind of looking at and which ones I'm paying a good attention to next week. So on the open, we've got Under Armour. That's always one that's talked about. It tends to move quite a bit, Under Armour. And Ferrari is also the big one that I'm watching right there. That was a stock I held and got one of my best returns from. I made a video about it a few months ago, actually, that Ferrari was one of my favourite stocks that I held a few months ago. It's a stock that if it ever had a big massive discount, I'd probably get back into. Uber after the close will be the one that I'm definitely watching as a Uber shareholder myself. I am this week aiming to make a video about Arista Networks and also Uber, because Uber has their earnings on Monday, and then they also have the lockup that happens on, I think it's the Wednesday. The lockup happens, so we should see some Uber stock move on the Monday and Wednesday. So probably on the Thursday I'll make a video about Uber and talk about their earnings, and then also the lockup. If Uber does move quite a bit on earnings, then I probably will. If it goes up, I won't do anything. If it goes down, I'll probably wait until the lockup, because I do expect the Uber stock to drop after the lockup at least 10%. So I probably won't make any investment or video about Uber until Thursday about that. Tuesday on the morning, there's not too many stocks that I'm particularly bothered about. And after the close on Tuesday, same again, there's not too many stocks that I'm actually too bothered about, really. Wednesday morning, CVS Health Corp, obviously that's quite an interesting one, because I had the choice to either buy CVS Health or Walgreens, and I bought Walgreens stock instead of CVS Health. But even so, I do check CVS Health Corp out every so often. It is a stock I track, and there's a couple of times that I'm kind of on the line of actually buying shares in CVS Health Corp and Walgreens, because I do believe both of them are quite undervalued. But at the time, I chose Walgreens over CVS Health Corp. After the close Friday, ROKU, which has had a fantastic year. Square, which I'm hoping to go down because I am tracking that company quite heavy. And it's a company I used to own as well. Another one of my best investments I ever made was investing in Square after its IPO. But I do. Another one I track, Qualcomm. Fitbit, they've actually just been, it looks like Google are going to acquire them. QIY, another Chinese one. And Wynn Resorts is a stock that I've been tracking for a while. I love to get Wynn Resorts on a discount. I reckon they will go down after their earnings if I was going to guess. Judging by how the gambling numbers have been coming out quite a bit, they have always been quite negative. So I would expect Wynn to drop, but at the same time, he's pretty much gambling. But if I was going to say anything, I would guess it would drop. And like I say, I'd love to get Wynn. I would like Wynn Results in my portfolio, and it would be a stock that I would be buying if it goes to the $90 mark for sure. Thursday on the open, there's not too many stocks on there. After the close on Thursday is a bit more of a bigger one. We've got Walt Disney. Same again, I'd love to buy Walt Disney, but I'd probably want it around the $120 mark right now. Activision, and Take-Two, two massive gaming companies. Obviously, they've had a bit of a rough time trying to bounce back at the moment. Dropbox is one that I'll probably be watching, and Stamps.com, they got absolutely smashed earlier in the year. So I'll see how they do. I checked into that company and it just didn't interest me at the time. So we'll see how they do overall. And then Friday on the morning, there's not really any stocks that I'm too massive about tracking on the Friday before the open. So guys, as we talk about the stocks reporting earnings next week, like I say guys, there's quite a few that are, interesting me quite a bit, and like I say, Uber is probably the big one for me next week, and seeing how they do. And like I say, I'll also make a video about RSN Networks after their earnings on Friday. Last week I've been checking into that company this weekend. But yeah, I'll have a good idea what's happening on Thursday with Uber, depending what happens with their earnings and lockup. And like I said, there's a few potential movers there. If the stocks do sell off quite a bit, then I might go and invest in a few of them. And like always guys, if I do buy any of the stocks, I'll let you know and I'll make a video about them and talk about why I bought the stocks and what price I got in. But I hope that video helps you for your earnings next week guys. Like I say, if you could give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, that'd be amazing. And I'll see you in the next video.